Definitely stay tuned to the end of this video. I'll show you some before and afters, all the progress we made so far. Welcome back to Bowers Creations. So it's a nice, cool, brisk morning. I'm out here at the place. This is my first long weekend since we've owned the place, and gonna start working on it, trying to make it our own, fixing it up some. And the first thing I want to do is, I told you we had a septic system back here that I thought it was collapsed and was no good, but turns out we found it, we located it. It didn't look like it was in bad shape, so I called the guy out. He thinks it's savable. It just needs a new riser on it. So today I'm gonna dig out around the opening, make it to where no more dirt and debris could fall down in there, and then I got a shop vac. I'm gonna try to suck out all the debris that's in it. It's just dry dirt and grass and stuff like that. There's no nasty stuff in there, and we're gonna try to suck it out, get it cleaned out, and then I'm gonna have him come out and put on the riser on it. So that's the first chore today. I'll set up the tripod, and then the next thing is, I did finally get a 3-yard dumpster delivered. They dump it once a week, so I figured if I could fill it up once a week, it'll make a good dent on the place out here. So that's kind of the top priorities, and then no telling what else we'll get into. So I built this fence and put around this septic so that no one falls in it. Last thing I need is getting sued because someone was trespassing. And of course we didn't want any critters falling in it. But I'll get this fence out of the way and then see if we could clear some of this dirt around the opening. I didn't think to bring a good shovel. I had one out here, but it's kind of rickety, so I hope it does a trick. If not, I guess we're gonna go either buy a shovel or have to go get one. That's not cool, but maybe my father-in-law has a shovel. Alright, now the ground's getting a lot harder than what this dinky shovel's gonna do. I think my dad has our father-in-law has a pickaxe. We're gonna go see if we can find it, chip up this last little bit, and then see about getting all the debris out of here. Well, I couldn't find the pickaxe. I found a hoe. See if that will do anything for us. I know there's one out here. I think it's probably got put up in my father-in-law's shed, which I should have a key to, but I don't like looking for stuff, so I'm gonna try to make do with what I got. I don't got tons of time, so looking for stuff, I guess sometimes if you had the right tool, will save you time, but this seems to be working here. I don't gotta go too far. I do think I'm getting more dirt down in the tank than I am out. And this thing is pretty oval. The guy that came and looked at it, he said it was oval, but he has a way of fixing it. But I wonder if he knows it's this oval. I may be spinning my wheels here. We'll get him back out here next week to look at it again. But in the meantime, I guess we'll continue on with the plan. So this is what I got going on here. I took my vacuum, stretched out 100 foot of cord, taped my vacuum to a hose so I could scratch at the dirt, and then the vacuum sucks it up. But I did just discover another little issue. I don't know how I'm going to continue with this, but let me show you what we got going on here. And I was afraid of this, but let's see what happens. I don't know how well you can see that, but there just happens to be a rattlesnake right there. Or what I'm pretty convinced is a rattlesnake. I believe that's a western diamondback. See if we get a little closer. I don't know what it's been eating. It's been stuck down in here for a while. You can see it's starting to move a little bit, but I'm pretty certain that is a rattlesnake there. And I don't want him down in there if I could have to get down in there. So I don't know what we're gonna do there. He ain't too defensive. He ain't moving very fast because it's cold. But, let me figure out what I'm gonna do. And then we'll go back to the task at hand, I guess. I'm stumped here. I don't know what to do. You know, most rattlesnake bites happen when you're trying to mess with them or trying to kill them. So I don't really want to try to get them out. I can't euthanize them down in the bottom of that hole because I don't need a hole in my septic tank. So I don't know what to do. So let me ponder about this for a minute, and when I figure it out, I'll get back to you. So I got the snake out of the hole. I didn't video it because I lifted it out with the hoe, and I don't want to promote that kind of behavior. It's probably pretty stupid of me. It was moving slow. It is cold this morning. So I got it out. Snake's gone. We could carry on. Let's hope we don't find any more today. That was enough excitement for one day. That ain't working as well as I thought it would. We're gonna have to re-rig it, try it again. So I got the hoe idea working, but it's right at the end of the reach of the hose, so it's barely making any progress. So here's the new plan. I found me a piece of pipe attached to the hose. See how well this works. I could already tell you it's much better. Well, I've been working at this quite a while. I think we got all the loose stuff out. There's a crust down in the bottom that I need a long sharpshooter or some post hole diggers to bust up. And I'm kind of getting tired of being crunched up in this hole. My legs are hurting. So we're gonna move on, find some other stuff to do. We're gonna put all this away for now, wrap it back up, cover it, and I'll work on it after I bring out some post hole diggers or something to get this crust busted up. All right, so I had the best help in the world show up, making her first time appearance on the channel and her debut to the channel is my lovely wife. She came out to help me out. And the next thing we want to work on is we got this fence put up here, and this over here, we've done a lot of cleaning around the building here, the shed, and I want to just keep working my way around it. And I want to start cutting out. There's a whole bunch of grapevine in here. There's still quite a bit of trash on this side. We're going to trim up this tree, try to get a bunch of this grapevine and stuff cleared out of here, try to get this satellite and things like that, or antenna, cleaned out, and just start making our way around this side of the shed here. Try to push if you can. Easy. Push. Don't lift. Oh my God. That's heavy. Just like that. Maybe a little more. Right there. Now straighten your wheels. Perfect. All right, that's good. Go ahead. I'm clear. Ease forward. Keep going. A little more. I tell you what, it's sure been a day of it, but just this one little area right here filled up a 3-yard dumpster. So we started working on the trees. Got a huge pile of the trees. Check this out. But man, we got a lot of progress done. Got all this cleaned out. Now there's still a ton of bricks. Of course, there's still a lot of little trash. I tell you what, on the bricks though, these folks, I don't know if there was ever a brick they turned down in their lives. I don't know if they had a brick fetish. Maybe they thought bricks were full of gold. But there's bricks, there's brick walkways, there's brick garden beds, there's bricks holding down stuff. Anyways, enough of the bricks. Big old pile of limbs there. We'll have to haul it off. And I got this little one right here. Gonna try to burn it tomorrow while we're out here tinkering around. Won't be working near as hard tomorrow, but we're gonna have a little bit of it tomorrow. But man, this sure looks a lot better right here. It's a new day out here, and again, y'all gotta help me come up with a name for this place. I think I've mentioned it before, but I've got a battery for the old lawnmower here. I bought this thing for $100 from my brother. One of the few times in my life that my brother was being helpful and cool. I got a couple brothers, but my real brother is, well, he's kind of selfish and I'm kind of a butthole, so we don't get along very well. Unfortunately, I'd like to have a better relationship with him, but sometimes it just ain't meant to be, I guess. I don't know. But we're going to swap out this battery, see if we can get this lawnmower fired up. I want to get back there where we was working yesterday and try to grind some of that up. I cut it with that string trimmer, and it's just big old long chunks of grass, and I'm hoping we could shred it a little bit so it'll break down a little faster or blow away or something. That's a big old battery. Okay, guess we'll put negative on negative. That's probably the best route to do this. And positive on positive is not a bad plan. See if this thing's gonna start now. Be a cold start, I guess. Good morning. Another beautiful morning out here at the ranch, as my dad calls it. We'll come up with a good name for the place sooner or later. But I think the first objective today is to load up all these tree limbs, haul them off. Now, it's the same video for you, but it's actually been about 3 or 4 weeks since we cleaned all that up, and it's time to get it gone. And then the next thing I want to work on is right over here. So my father-in-law, bless his heart, cleaned up a bunch of this old shed. There's an old shed right here, or workshop, and he cleaned it up a week or so ago, quite a bit. But I want to come in here. I got one of those push around weed trimmers or weed whackers, whatever you want to call them. I call it the DR trimmer. If you've ever seen one of those work, they're beast. But we'll clean up some of these weeds so we don't get rattlesnake bit, and then I think I'm gonna clean up the rest of this trash if we got time. I want to try to pull those posts because I got a project for those in mind, and just try to clean up over here. And then if you notice, we moved the RV. It's parked over here now, and just clean up all these bricks and stuff that they had under it. So that's the goal. I'm not going to record all the picking up of the tree limbs and stuff. I'll just show you the progress afterwards. So as you probably see behind me, I got all the branches loaded up, or at least a full trailer load. I think I only have 2 or 3 trailer loads by the time I clean this place up. But I got the DR stringer stringed up, or new string put on it, however you say it. And this ain't a sales ad, but these things are awesome. First time I ran one of these is probably 15, 16 years ago. And I'm just trying to share with you a cool machine. If you got land or do any yard work or anything, yard business, you need one of these things. Check this thing out. It'll rip through this like it's nothing. It'll throw bricks. I thought there was a primer bulb on it. I guess there's not a primer bulb. Let's fire this thing up. Good morning. Another cool brisk morning here in the Texas Panhandle. We got a ton of work done here on the old workshop or whatever it was. Let me spin around here so you can see it. Got all the trash cleaned up. Of course, we got a few trash cans still full over here. And all we lack is pulling these posts. I'll show you how I'm going to do that here in a minute. Some of you may have seen this trick, some of you may not. But definitely stay tuned to the end of this video. I'll show you some before and afters, all the progress we made so far. But for now, the first thing I want to do is my neighbor gave me a whole bunch of chain. They've been sitting in a bucket for years. They're rusty, nasty. And I think I'm going to drag them behind the old garage ornament here. I got a 10th mile circle driveway. It's asphalt millings and a little bit of cleach. I've heard this works real good in the sand, but I don't have any sand out here. So we're going to see what this does. We'll start with about 5 laps and go from there. Maybe do a mile or two when it's all said and done with, and see how well this cleans up this chain. So as you can see here, this is some pretty rusted up gnarly chain. It looks like mostly surface rust, but we're going to hook it on here. We're going to drag it around and see what it does. So I've made about 5 laps now, and that's actually working pretty dang good. It's actually getting shiny already in some spots. I wouldn't want to do this a whole lot. I do think sand would be better because it'd cover it up. Now one problem I'm having is when I'm dragging this, the weight of my chains is pulling up and I'm not dragging my hooks. That's the one thing I wanted to clean up more than anything. So I'm going to find some wire, flip them around, because for some reason every piece of this chain doesn't have a hook on the other end. So I'm going to tie these onto this chain, my drag chain, and drag the hooks around a little bit, see how much I could clean them up. Well, look at that, just 4 or 5 laps. You could actually see or read the writing. They probably could use a power washing now, but they're not nasty anymore. So I think we're going to call that a success. It'd be better in the sand again, I think I would prefer, but I used what I had and the chain looks a lot better. So like I said, some of y'all may have seen this trick before, some of y'all may not have, but I want to wrap this chain around to where, and then hook it back to itself. I've got the other end hooked over here, or I did. It came loose. It's not the best hook on this particular chain, so hopefully that don't give us problems. It looks like it's going to. Now I got a loop just like so that pulls from both sides of the post, and then I'm going to take my spare tire and put it right up next to the post. I'm going to angle it towards the Jeep or towards my pulling point, And then I didn't pull out enough winch line. So luckily, I got my winch controller right here. I'm gonna get a little more winch line out. Oh, there it goes. I guess the winch controller dies or turns off if you don't use it. Unhook that up. Guess we'll keep that. Now, getting everything set up is usually easier with two people. And I'm gonna let that run right over that tire. See how the tire's starting to lean? So we need to adjust our tire a little bit. Just like so. Now, I'm gonna stand back and let's put some pressure on this tire, see what happens. All right, so I'm just pulling the Jeep. I chalked the tires. Here, let me show you. I chalked the tire with this big old stinking timber, but I think it's too big. I need to get some bricks and actually get up under the tire so it chalks it better. And then we'll try this again. Another thing is these are the tires off the Jeep, and it doesn't quite have enough air pressure in it, but I think we're still going to be able to make this work. So let me chalk those tires and then we'll try it again. So I've got everything readjusted. One final thing I'm gonna do, just because I don't want this slipping off, is I'm gonna put me a weight bag on my winch line. That way if it does slip off, hopefully I don't have to buy a new window. Let me turn back on the remote. That dies pretty quick. I'm not too happy about that. Let's see what happens. Now sometimes, and I don't know if I recommend this, once you get a little tension on it, you come over and rock your post some, and that's not helping very much. Oh, we're still pulling the Jeep. So I think my next step, we're gonna let off and I'm gonna get in there and hold the brakes. See if we can get this thing to come loose. It's close. Again, it would be better if I had a little more pressure in the tire, but it's working. It is trying to pull it, so. Oh, it's a lot looser. Still dragging the Jeep though. All right, we got it re-rigged. Let's see if we can break something now. Something's about to break, I don't know what. Almost sounds like the post is about to break. All right, so that thing's not moving. Look how I even have a tire chained up under the Jeep and it's still just dragging it, digging in the dirt. So we're gonna have to try some other tactics here. This ain't gonna work. So I know a lot of y'all are gonna call that a complete failure, but the post is almost there. You gotta remember the Jeep only weighs 3,800 pounds. It is parked on loose gravel and grass. All my tree saver straps are in my Tahoe, so I couldn't tie it to a tree. I got a tree right there. I didn't want to wrap chain around it and hurt the tree. There's actually another trick. Once you get that pulling force pulling one way, you could come on the opposite side with the high lift jack, and it'll usually jack right out. But my jack's about 100 yards over there in the Connex, And I'm lazy today. I don't want to make a huge mess. I'm actually about to go to church and spend some time with my mother. It's Mother's Day. But I'm going to conclude this video and I'm going to show you some after shots. It's actually May 10th right now. We bought the place on March 26th. So just over a month. Is that right? Yeah, just over a month, probably about 6 weeks or so. And we've made a lot of progress. I've only had 2 long weekends. What I call a long weekend is a Saturday and Sunday. I usually only get Sundays off. Every third weekend I get a Saturday and Sunday off. So let me show you what all we've done in this short time frame. We'll take some after pictures and then we'll keep making progress as time goes on. In the meantime, I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a wonderful Mother's Day.